Hello everybody, my name is Walter and today I want to show you how I can build my splitting 6x6 and double world door. In case you're looking for the corresponding showcase or world download, you can find both linked in the description. But let's get started. So this door here is, due to the way it works, of a somewhat unusual size. In total it's 18 blocks wide, but only 10 blocks high. The length of it is the somewhat expected 5 blocks, 7 blocks if you count the front and the back wall. If you want to build the store, you're going to need obviously some resources, and those are, besides some building blocks, 34 obsidian blocks, 12 half slabs, half a stack, so 32 of slime blocks, 12 honey blocks. For redstone components, it's 44 redstone dust, 4 redstone torches, 22 repeaters, 2 comparators, 48 observers, 40 node blocks, 8 normal pistons, 36 sticky pistons, and 6 hoppers. And depending on what you want to use as an input, you might need additionally some redstone components. Also, the glowstone here is just there to light up the space and purely optional, so I'm not counting it as a required resource. And with that covered, let me show you how to build this door here. Start by placing the floor and the ceiling of the inner doorway, which are those two patches of blocks you can see here. The distance between the two is 6 blocks, the width of both are 6 blocks, and as you can see in the middle we have a slice of normal blocks followed by immovable blocks like obsidian to the front and the back. Once you've done that, go to the bottom here, one to the front, and then one down, which is where we need our node block. In this case, I've placed it to the left of the center. You can also place it to the right. You would just have to mirror the next few couple blocks. Anyway, we continue with observer to the right in this case, followed by another node block and then 2 observers. And on the opposite end, we just need our 3 observers. So you can see, essentially, if you have the node block here, you would just have to mirror essentially those 4 blocks here in the middle. Anyway, we run those observers here into full blocks, on top of which we have sticky pistons running into full blocks again. And then the last part is when we click on this node block here, both should spit out their block at the same time. And with that done, it's time to talk about the 2 sides. Now with that said, due to the symmetry of the build, I will show you in the following just how to build the right side and then mirror doing the cuts towards the left, since the both sides are just mirror images of each other. With one minor deviation, in some places you have slime blocks on one side and honey blocks on the other. But when we get to that, I will tell you that specifically again. Anyway, let's get started with the right side. So we need to go to this spit out block. And first we need to go one down and then one up to the right. Place a torch below this block here. Then in this gap we need a 1 tick repeater. Then from this block here we need to go one up towards the back with a node block. Then one down with an upside down slab, followed by a normal block, and then we need to go one further down. Add one more block here, then one up, one down, one up, and then a node block down. Now redstone dust on the node block. In this gap we need a 4 tick repeater, then a 3 tick repeater here, and then wire all the way over to this block here. Now those should be powered. Then let's go and add an observer in this corner here. And while we're there, let's actually go and place a sticky piston already in there. Now we need to go to this node block here. Place another observer looking at it from the front and running into a full block with another sticky piston on top. Then we go to the back of our build, and here place an observer looking at this observer here. Then place 2 observers like so. Then another 2 observers towards the right, running into a full block followed by another full block. On this block we need some redstone wire. On this one here a 3 tick repeater, and here a 2 tick repeater. Sorry, a 1 tick repeater. The 1 tick repeater runs into an obsidian block, the 3 tick repeater into a normal block. Then we will need some slime blocks. Place them in this kind of triangular shape here. Then place observers at the back there, and then sticky pistons in front of them. And now we are at the point where we need to have slime blocks on one side and honey blocks on the other side. So you can make a mix and match like so, or you could have just slime blocks on this side and just honey blocks on this side. It's pretty much up to you. I think I will go with this little mixture here. And then we are almost done. Last part is adding those parts here. And while we're here, we can also fill in this part of the center. And if we were now to click on this one here, you should be able to see this part of the door closing already. And if we flick the node block a second time, it should retract. So now let me quickly mirror this. And as I said, if you have slime blocks on one side, make sure you use honey blocks on the opposing end. Or those two sides, when the door closes, will get stuck to each other and you won't be able to actually open the door again. Now with that said, let's continue on. So we need to go to the center part here next to this raised node block there. And that's where we need our upside down slab, followed by another 2 blocks going up diagonally. Put down 2 redstone wire here, and a torch on the side of this block here. Now we will need our first 2 hoppers facing each other below this block torch combination and filled with 6 items. Then we will also need our comparator soon. First place a block diagonally to this hopper here, then take an output with the comparator. On top of the comparator, place an observer running into a node block with an observer towards the back there, and then towards the inside here, running into a full block. Then on top of this block, place a node block, then a block on top. So we should now be able to place redstone wire in this one high gap here. In front of this, we need now a column of 4 sticky pistons, and behind the middle diagonally, we need those 2 normal pistons. Now for the front half, let's continue with an observer looking at this comparator there, running into a full block with a lowered block here with some dust on top. Then on top of that, an observer with some redstone dust on top. Then we will need a block here with a 1-tick repeater, which then runs into a full block. And then we have again the lowered block with the redstone dust in the middle and the node block below. And again, the 4 sticky pistons and the 2 recessed normal pistons. Then we can place full blocks to the face of those sticky pistons, and that should be that part done. So if we activate anything, those should be extended, as you can see here, and if we activate it a second time, those should retract at the end there. And now again, it's time to mirror. Following that, let's go to the outside here again, and here in the middle we need first an upside down slab, and then one raised towards the back there, put down 2 redstone wire. Then a hopper on top of the middle there, again redstone wire on top. Follow that with a node block to the front, again with some redstone wire. Then we have a raise block to the front and one to the side there, some wire there, and a 4-tick repeater, sorry, a 3-tick repeater here. This runs into a full block, then a lowered upside down slab, then a raised block, lowered block, and a raised block. On the slab we need some wire. Follow that with a 4-tick repeater, then around the corner some wire and another 4-tick repeater, running into a full block. Then we have 2 lower blocks around the corner there, wire here, then a 2-tick repeater there. This runs into a raised block, then we have a lowered upside down slab again, then a raised and another lowered block, wire on the slab, and a 4-tick repeater right here. Then grab your observers, place 2 looking at those 2 repeaters here running inwards with a sticky piston below the gap. On the opposing side, we make the same construct with observers looking at those 2 repeaters here. Again, a sticky piston diagonally below. Then we need to go down here and start with an observer on top and to the side of this node block and one looking at this node block there. Then a sticky piston in front of this one and this one here, and diagonally below this one here. Now we need slime blocks. Place them in here, and don't forget the slime block here in the middle there. So you need 4 slime blocks in total. And now we're at the point where we need to again alternate between slime and honey blocks. So for this pattern, I go with slime blocks here and honey blocks here. As I said, you can also go with just slime blocks on one side and honey blocks on the other. It's pretty much up to you. Again, we have the 3 on the outside. And then we have the 2 here. And now we still need to fill in the middle. For that, I'm just using slime blocks here. You don't need to alternate, just place a block and a L shape like so. And then fill this with normal blocks. And up here, we will need some obsidian blocks. And everything should work now. So let's test this out. So this part is looking good. And if you flick the lever again, or the node block, it works just as intended. And after some quick mirroring, we are almost done. So now last test to see if everything works as it's supposed to, which it looks like. So with that out of the way, the last part is obviously filling in the last gaps in the floor, the ceiling, and the walls, obviously, and relocate or put some input mechanisms somewhere you can actually reach it without having to dig through the floor. And here we go. So as you can see, I finished everything up. I added some more inputs on each side and also decided to light up the space by adding some glowstone blocks here, which are obviously completely optional. The inputs here are rather simple, just a monostable circuit here, which triggers the node block from the very beginning with a 1-tick pulse, that on either side. This one here would be a positive flunk triggered one, this would be a negative flunk triggered one, but besides of initial delay, they work pretty much the same. And with that said, we have finally reached the end of this little tutorial here. I hope you enjoyed it, and well, see ya.